Hello and welcome back to Fusili Chemicals and the Open Synthesizer. Today we're going to be synthesizing glucose. Now glucose, you guys already know what it is. It's a sugar. And there are actually, apart from its use in food and for baking food, of course, those things, it also has medicinal uses. So there are there are two other variants or relatives of glucose called D-glucose and L-glucose. D-glucose, also known as dextrose, is used in the hospital for providing, of course, it's an IV fluid, I think. Now here we're gonna be making the regular glucose that you guys know and love, and the structure is actually a bit different. So it's supposed to look three-dimensional in the case we're in. This oxygen molecule over here is supposed to be facing us, and there are some parts of here that are facing us, and it overall has a. If you were to use the ball and stick model or formalism of chemistry, um, there are different ways to look at it, and there are different shapes it will take on if you move the camera around the complete molecule. So in this case, we're going to be using a top-down perspective. Um, so really, what you guys will notice is that there is a cyclohexane ring with one of the carbon atoms replaced with an oxygen atom. So yeah. Now, another thing that piques my interest when it comes to glucose is because it is a very fundamental molecule in the sense wherein it is a part of a larger structure that comprises a lot of organic matter, most notably plant organic matter, such as the barks of trees and cotton itself and stuff like that. And cotton, as you guys know, is used to make our clothes and also paper. Um, in fact, not no, I mean I'm not saying that cotton is used to make paper, but rather that fundamental structure that glucose is part of that comprises cotton is also comprises that pulp that we use to make paper, and that fundamental structure is called cellulose, and it's a bunch of glucose molecules strung together, right? So that's why I'm interested and I wanted to make this molecule over here. So in theory, with a bigger build platform, with our open synthesizer, you guys can construct a batch of cellulose, right? Another thing that piques my interest when it comes to this molecule, I mean, me wanting to construct it in Molek-Syntez, is because you can actually construct, or you guys can extract sugar from paper or cotton, as a YouTuber, Nile Red, has demonstrated already. So in theory and actually in practice, you guys can extract sugar from cotton or our own clothes. So anyways, here what we've done is I've used methanol over here in the top, and a bunch of water molecules around, and I used, I believe, an acetone molecule over here, and a propene molecule over here. And of course, majority of the moves done by the Waldos over here are only to get the bonds right, and you guys will see that in the next video on caffeine. So let's get to the construction. So here is the completed glucose molecule, and of course it has that hexagonal structure that you guys will see in the structural formula, except that one of the carbon atoms that are implied to be the vertices of that hexagonal structure is replaced with an oxygen molecule. And there are some extra, there's a CH2 here and an OH molecule, or a methanol molecule attached to this group over here. And you guys will see that in the skeletal formula. Now, as for D-glucose or dextrose and L-glucose, and stuff like that, maybe even sucrose, of course the structure will differ a little bit, but it will not change fundamentally in the sense wherein there is still a cyclohexane, quote unquote cyclohexane, molecule in the middle, with one of the carbon atoms replaced with an oxygen atom. So this is it. This is it. This is all we really had to do, and these are the instructions on how to construct it. Of course, I have not programmed the Waldos to get back into place, but I think some of them have already gotten back into place. I think 1 and 3 already back into place. 2 did not need to be put back into place. Now I think also 4 did it right. Yeah, 4 did it right, I think, and I think it's all settled in the end. So this is glucose.